We have seen many live action anime series and movies release, and nearly every time they fail, and of course, Netflix has several in the works currently, but they're not done butchering our beloved content because now they are creating a live action My Hero Academia, and people are furious. I have a few things to show off, but before we get into the topic at hand, if you enjoy the content that I create, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. Follow me on social media like Twitter or mine so that you can see when my content is posted. And of course, if you do really enjoy the videos and the live streams that I create, please consider becoming a Dark Titan via Patreon for just $1 a month, or support the channel via YouTube memberships. All of the links are in the description, and of course, I do really appreciate all of the support. So this is a Bounding into Comics article that I wanted to start with. It says live action MHA film heading to Netflix will feature screenplay from the Obi-Wan Kenobi showrunner. So right off the bat, a lot of bad information. Not only is Netflix going to butcher MHA now, but they are also featuring screenplay from the Obi-Wan Kenobi showrunner. And I've talked about Obi-Wan quite a lot on this channel because I was very disappointed with it. I was super excited for it. I was really hoping that it was going to be a good show, and it just was a letdown in my opinion. But now they have decided to hire this showrunner to do this screenplay, which definitely has a lot of people questioning how bad this movie is going to be. So it says, in a development that has historically sounded the death knell for live action adaptations of Japanese properties, Netflix has acquired the streaming rights to Legendary Entertainment's upcoming take on My Hero Academia. It says, first announced by Variety, Netflix's purchase of the upcoming film will see Hollywood's take on all of these beloved characters skip theaters and premiere exclusively on the streaming service. Alongside this update, it was also revealed the film's screenplay will be penned by Joby Harold, who most recently rewrote Kathleen Kennedy's initial Obi-Wan Kenobi scripts and served as the Disney Plus series showrunner. Now, obviously, I would love to be hopeful for a film like this to release, but there's just absolutely no way that I can feel hopeful when it comes to live-action Netflix, because they have created so many monstrosities over the years, and they have a lot in the works. Of course, one of the most recent situations was with Cowboy Bebop. The live action was terrible. It didn't even deserve a 60%, but it was reverse review bomb. There were a lot of people who simply saw the show get canceled and decided they wanted to support the series, so they went on something like Rotten Tomatoes to try to raise the score up, but it was for a while sitting right around like a 45, but as you can see, the critic score is a 46% and the average audience score is a 60. This was one of the worst series that I've seen, and it was hilarious because Netflix was originally planning to do multiple seasons because they didn't even finish the Cowboy Bebop story in this first season because they were planning on doing at least 2 seasons of this, and they decided, you know what, we have got to cut our losses here, and they decided to back out of this project, which is just so funny because it was so bad. And I tried to find things I liked about this show, but there was absolutely nothing here. And then, of course, we had Death Note, which was just a disaster. And for some reason, Netflix decided that they actually were not going to dip out of Death Note, because even though this first film came out in 2017, they are actually doing a sequel to this, another live-action Death Note, which is just such a terrible idea. I mean, this one clearly, as you can see, has way worse ratings than even Cowboy Bebop's live action. I don't know what the hell they were thinking here, but Death Note, 37% critic and a 23% audience. And if you click on the audience scores, I mean, there is nothing here that is positive. I mean, it's just people roasting Netflix and the content here in general. Now, there have been a few different films that have come out that were live action that were decent. I personally didn't hate Ghost in the Shell. I know that it was a pretty controversial movie, but I didn't hate it. And Alita Battle Angel was fantastic, in my opinion. I mean, most people agree with that. 61% critic. I don't really care about what the critics say, but a 92% audience score, and we have been waiting for news on Alita 2, but this was actually done correctly, and it was really, really solid. But of course, it's not Netflix. Netflix just cannot nail these live action anime manga adaptations. But here is a list of the anime adaptations coming to Netflix in 2023 and beyond. You would think that enough would be enough. You know, they have put out several of these that have failed at this point, that they would decide, you know what, we're going to slow down on these for a little while, but they have sped up. I mean, in the past couple of months, they have announced a ton of them. Of course, Avatar: The Last Airbender Season 1, while I do like Avatar, I just do not have any interest in this. I don't really want to give anything Netflix live action a chance at this point, because they have proven time and time again they are incapable of creating good products around these properties. One Piece, we've heard quite a lot about One Piece at this point because it will be coming out in 2023. And again, I just don't really see a way that this could work in live action. I just don't think that there's any way they can make this successful, but they are doing that. Sword Art Online. I honestly didn't even remember that they were doing this, but then of course I was looking it back up, and yes, they are in fact doing a Sword Art Online live action. This is something that they announced a while back, but they never gave us any details. We don't know casting, we don't know when it's going to release, we don't know how many episodes there's going to be. So this is, like, I feel an up in the air project at this point. Like, they announced it, they wanted to test the waters, and they weren't really sure what direction they were going in. And here is one of the most controversial announcements they've made so far, Yu Yu Hakusho. I could not believe my eyes when I saw that they were initially creating this series. Again, there's just no way that any of these shows could be good in a live action format. I guess I kind of give props for them trying, but at the same time, they've tried so many times at this point and have failed every single time. Like I also mentioned, they announced a Death Note sequel, which just sounds terrible. They need to kill it with fire and just end it. But as you can see, they have decided that they are going to do a My Hero Academia series now, and people are furious discussing films posted about this on Twitter, and people in the comments are just roasting this idea. Netflix is getting memed hard right now, but people are also saying things like the show will be shit, that's a guarantee, but the insane backlash from the fandom is going to be some popcorn shit. Lame. Live action anime adaptation becoming a worse phrase than Disney live action remake. I swear to God, it is an awful time to be an anime fan because we just keep getting screwed over by companies like Netflix. But yeah, as you can see, Netflix has decided to announce a live action MHA. I don't think it's going to be good. I think it's going to be a major disaster for them, but of course I will keep my eye on it, and when there is more news I will be talking about it more. But for now, that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed it, please make sure to give it a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel. And of course, if you didn't, make sure to give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.